If you're selling drugs, if you're a child rapist, if you beat up women for fun or steal cars, or maybe you simply terrorize people as a gang member, and you happen to live in Northern Virginia, well, you're probably resting easy tonight. Because thanks to the self-proclaimed migrant reporter Pablo Manriquez, you know exactly where ICE will be conducting its raids. He somehow got info about pending ICE operations and has been blasting out the information, telling illegals to plan accordingly. Joining me now, Fox News national correspondent Bill Maluzhin. Bill, now this looks like a leak from DHS. What do we know?
Laura, it was a leak, and it was leaked to not a reporter, but a far-left, open borders activist who doesn't like ICE and doesn't want ICE to succeed. And he's trying to say that he's just reporting the news. No, he's not. He went well beyond that. If you guys pull up his string of tweets, not only did he give these targets a heads up that this was coming, he then said ICE has warrants. They can go into your home, so, quote, plan accordingly. He then went on to say that the highways aren't safe. Stay off the highways because state police are partnering with ICE. That crosses the line from reporting into activism. And here's why it's so egregious in this case, Laura. He openly says in his reporting there that ICE had up to 100 judicial warrants to go after these guys. That means a judge had signed off on these criminal warrants and given ICE the green light to go after them. That means there is a higher degree of criminality. These are not just administrative ICE arrests. These are criminals, they're fugitives, they're people with final orders of removal, and ICE had judicial permission to target them and go after them. Well, this activist has apparently decided to align himself with those criminal aliens, give them a heads up, and then coach them and advise them on how to avoid ICE. And Laura, you and I may find that abhorrent, but the real blame here goes with whoever leaked him that information, because the big question right now is who in this Trump administration is talking to a far left, ICE-hating activist, immigration reporter, as he describes himself, and is leaking these operational details to him, because his information was accurate, Laura. I confirmed with ICE sources there were operations in Virginia today. So, look, a lot of people in the Trump administration have been going on TV saying that these leakers are going to be punished, they're going to be identified, there are going to be consequences. But we haven't seen any of that yet, right? Aurora leaked, Chicago leaked, LA leaked, now Virginia leaked. It seems to be getting worse and worse. We may not like what this activist is reporting, but the true blame goes to whoever is leaking that information to him and giving up the ICE intel.
Well, Bill, what kind of lovely individuals are subject to a judicial warrant? It's a term that our viewers haven't heard very often.
Basically, some of the things you announced in your anchor intro. These can be people who have previous felonies. They can be people who are fugitives of the law. They can be people who have final orders of removal, meaning they've already had their immigration cases heard, and a judge has ordered them deported from the United States. It essentially means that they're not just targeting these people because they're in the U.S. illegally. They have a criminal history, perhaps a violent felony, perhaps a rape, perhaps an assault with a deadly weapon. They're not good guys that a judge is signing off on, right? So this guy decided to not only give them a heads up, but then actively coach them, hey, stay off the highways, and they might come into your house, so prepare accordingly. And that, what does he mean by that, right? I mean, you could have some nut job sitting there with a gun waiting for them to come in.
Well, lives are on the line, Bill, and I'm going to say this. Pretending you're a reporter to try to avoid your own legal accountability here, that might not work. I mean, it could be considered a fraud in the publication of this. It's a fraud. It's fraudulently identifying yourself and then interfering with federal ICE operations. Americans could very well get killed as a result of this. So the leaker is culpable. This so-called reporter better watch out, because he may be culpable as well. You just don't know how this is going to go down. Bill, as always, you're reporting on this. Thank you so much.